What you are about to see is the most beautiful place we've ever been.
This is Moonrock Bay because up there is a great big boulder that looks like it comes from the moon. There it is. So named by a yachty who decided that at night time when the moon shone on it, it lit up, and he said it looked like a rock from the moon, or so the story goes. Anyway, it is visually one of the most stunning bays here, and right at this moment on that beach just over there, Liz is doing a bit of beach combing. She's gone off in the kayak. I've been flying the drone, just getting in some stunning sceneries. The one disappointment which I didn't mention last week but should have done was that when we passed another yachty, we were talking on the VHF. They were going to an anchorage we'd just left, and they explained that they'd just come from this bay, and one of the local fishermen had stolen their anchor and chain from their dinghy when they went to walk up to Moonrock itself. When you hear stories like that, it's always very disappointing, but more than that, when we then come into the bay, you are forever suspicious of the fishermen, the local fishermen here, who have obviously been coming here for years, and 99.9% of them probably very nice, friendly, and as we've come to expect of the Indonesians we've met, wonderful, wonderful, honest, beautiful people. But it takes one incident like that to mar somewhere like this, and it's just a disappointment really, because now whenever you look at any one of these fishermen anchored up here, you think, was that the one? Maybe it was him who stole it. You just don't know, do you? Maybe the person was a chancer and came in just the once and took it and has never been back since. Who knows? But I think what these guys obviously don't realise is that the yachting community is a very small one. Most people know each other, especially in this part of the world. We've pretty much met all the other boats. We're in communication with them. And sadly, it means that when we pass notes and give advice on people coming to Anambas, it might just be that Moonrock Bay becomes the one to watch out for because local people take stuff from your boat. That's just a bit of a shame. For both Liz and myself, it's been at the back of our mind since we've come in here. We're now very careful. We always lock up the boat anyway, but we now remove anything on deck that could easily be grabbed by passers-by. We don't want to have to do this, but that's what happens sometimes. That aside, let's just take in this view one more time, because it really is possibly one of the most visually stunning bays in the Anambas. And I'm going to leave Liz to do a bit more beach combing whilst I go off over to the north side and do a bit of snorkeling. So you can see these guys here. They've got a little net down in the water, which I'm about to go over, so I need to move the boat. 1 minute. Yeah, give us a push. And these three guys are just splashing around in the water as a way of sort of frightening the fish into the net. Not seen this done before. Oh, look, there we go. Good man. It can? It can. Yeah, lots of fish. Looks like they're doing a good job of it as well.
You promised me to tell if there's anything haunting you. You leave without saying where you're going or where to. Should I worry that you won't come back? Should I worry that you will forget? My senses telling me I shouldn't worry, you know the truth. Ooh, yeah.
That is the sound of me being speechless. Speechless in amazement and wonder at this rather stunning 360 vista which I have on this spit of land. So I can't help but rub it in, but look at this place. I mean, it really is just absolutely just so beautiful. It really is, isn't it? With this little desert island here connected by this little spit of land, almost. Beautiful clear waters, palm fringe shores, blah blah blah. But what is quite interesting is that I've just walked over to this spit of land and I thought, well, that's a bit odd. Why would anyone cycle a bike along here? And then realised it's baby turtle tracks. So it'd be interesting to see if we can come down here at night, although I'm not sure we would because it's a bit dodgy coming down in the dinghy with the reef. But I imagine this is one of the spots where you're likely to find turtles nesting and baby turtles hatching and running down to the water. Also got this rather curious looking thing here which looks like a little model boat that's been stuck up lengthways, and underneath it, and this one's for my brother Marcus if he's watching.
bit shit here really, isn't it? And we think probably we found our favourite spot so far, which is here, Sagudampa, known to yachters as Moonrock Bay. And it's a series of small islands with lots of little sandy beaches, loads of coral, reefs, and it's simply stunning. Nobody lives here, it's deserted. We have seen a few fishermen. I don't know, it's just, I can't really explain, it's just so perfect.
So we've come around the corner from Moonrock Bay, which is sort of over there, and into this beautiful lagoon here. And in between this island and a couple of the other islands to the further sort of southeast, I suppose, is a great big reef. And this reef sits on its own. It's huge. It's the size of a small island, and but nothing protrudes the surface. And I actually only noticed it when I was flying the drone over the top and could see it from the air. So we brought the dinghy round, and Liz brought the kayak round, of course. She spent all morning in the kayak. We're going to go and snorkel this place because it looks pretty active. There's quite a lot going on. We've seen turtles already, and there's a lot of fish jumping out of the water. But as we've gone over the top of the reef, and I've stuck my head with the goggles on underwater as I've gone by, and Liz has seen it as she's kayaked over the top of it, it's looking pretty healthy. So we're going to go down and have a look. Well, I think in terms of fish activity, that is the most fish we've ever seen. So many fish. The profile of the reef is such that it's very, very flat across the whole of this area, but it drops away quite deep, so it would actually make a good dive spot as well. Saw a huge triggerfish, which fortunately was somewhere away from me and fairly low down in the water, a few meters, so stayed well away from him. And very, very big parrotfish as well. Lots of them nibbling the coral, and lots of that table coral as well, which we see everywhere. But very beautiful, very pretty. Some parts are dying, some parts are dead, but most of it is very healthy. But the amount of fish down there is amazing. It's truly incredible.
Oh gosh, that was just fantastic. We could have spent a month there, couldn't we?
I mean, when I was editing that, I could tell how visually impactful this was going to be, and I have to say it brought a lump in my throat and a tear to my eye every time I watched that. It's just, I mean, it's just mind-blowing. Never seen anything like it in my life.
No. And the first time you showed it to me, I was gobsmacked. That underwater footage and the drone footage, it really did look like that. That's why I really want to go back.
We should just mention, by the way, at the beginning of the episode, we talked about someone's anchor being stolen from their dinghy. And we want to make it absolutely clear that this kind of thing happens all over the world. It happens in Europe, it happens in Thailand, it happens everywhere.
Caribbean,
so
anywhere.
It's not specific to Indonesia or to the Anambas. So please don't go away thinking that that's what it's like everywhere. I mean, this was one instant in the whole time that we were there. So please bear that in mind. Okay, now I think, Liz, you wanted to quickly mention something, didn't you?
Yeah, I wanted to mention this decision about where we go next, because we're throwing it open to Patreon next month. Providing our goal has been reached, we will be asking them to vote on where we go next. And we have had quite a few suggestions here on YouTube from a lot of our followers. And Japan has raced to the top at the moment, which is very exciting. And then we've had Madagascar, a little bit worried about the plague there at the moment, but yeah, sure, across the Indian Ocean, various routes, possibly Papua New Guinea. Just to let everybody know, we can't go to Australia and New Zealand because they don't want Millie. So
Who would not want Millie?
I know. Yeah, quarantine rules are just too strict. So it's all very exciting, and next month we'll be having the vote on Patreon, and as soon as we get the result, we'll be announcing it here on YouTube. Probably do a special little video about it for everybody.
So anyone who happens to be a Patreon at that time next month is going to be in with a chance to vote.
Yeah, so let us know.